This is the story of a brave girl named Amaka who touched a cursed cowrie shell and had only 7 days to live. With the help of her grandmother, she went on a dangerous journey to break the curse. This story is full of action, spirits, and courage. Amaka was a happy girl who lived with her grandmother in a small Igbo village called Umueze. She loved playing by the river, climbing mango trees, and helping her grandmother sell vegetables. One morning, Amaka went to the stream and found a shiny cowrie shell floating on the water. She picked it up and smiled, not knowing it had a curse. As soon as she touched the cowrie shell, the wind became strong and the sky turned dark. A strange voice whispered, "You have 7 days to live unless you return what you took." Amaka dropped the shell and ran home crying. Her grandmother, Mama Ifeoma, saw her fear and asked, "What happened, my child?" Amaka explained everything. Mama Ifeoma looked very scared. "That cowrie belongs to the river spirit," she said. "It is not just a shell. It is a sacred gift. You must return it or the curse will follow you." Amaka cried, "But I don't know how to give it back. I just found it in the water." Mama Ifeoma hugged her tight. The next morning, they visited the village priest, Dibia Okafor. He was old and wise. He listened to Amaka's story and closed his eyes. He said, "The river spirit gave that shell as a warning. If it is not returned properly within 7 days, her spirit will come to take Amaka away." Amaka started shaking. Dibia Okafor said, "To break the curse, Amaka must go to the spirit river on the 7th night and drop the shell on the stone of life. But it won't be easy. Evil spirits will try to stop her. She must be brave." Mama Ifeoma held Amaka's hand and said, "We will do it together." Day 1 passed. Amaka stayed close to her grandmother, but that night she had a dream. A tall woman with blue eyes and fish scales walked out of the river. "I warned you," she said. "Return what is mine." Amaka screamed and woke up sweating. The shell was glowing under her pillow. Day 2, they went to see Nwoke, a fisherman who once saw the river spirit. He told them the way to the spirit river, deep in the forest. "But beware," he said. "No one comes back from there alive unless the spirit allows them." Amaka felt fear in her heart, but she nodded. On day 3, Mama Ifeoma packed food, water, and a small calabash. Dibia Okafor gave Amaka a charm to protect her from spirits. "This charm has the feather of an eagle," he said. "It will hide you from evil eyes." Amaka wore it around her neck and said a small prayer. On day 4, they began their journey. The forest was dark, with tall trees and strange sounds. Birds flew overhead and monkeys screamed from the trees. Amaka held Mama Ifeoma's hand tightly. After some hours, they found the first sign, a red river with no fish. It was the river of warning. Suddenly, a black shadow flew across the water and landed in front of them. It was a spirit guard, half man, half crocodile. "Who dares come here?" it growled. Amaka stood still. She showed him the shell. The spirit growled again and vanished into the river. The water turned clear. They crossed quickly. On day 5, Amaka and Mama Ifeoma reached a big tree with red leaves. It was the tree of questions. A deep voice said, "Answer or turn back." The tree asked, "What belongs to you but is used by others?" Amaka thought hard. She whispered, "My name." The tree opened its branches and they passed safely. That night, Amaka dreamt again. This time, the river spirit was angry. "Time is running out," she screamed. "If you fail, you will belong to the river forever." Amaka cried in her sleep. Mama Ifeoma woke her and held her. "My child, you are brave. We will finish this together. Don't give up." On day 6, a storm started in the forest. Trees were falling and animals ran in fear. The path became slippery. Suddenly, Mama Ifeoma fell into a hole. "Amaka!" she shouted. Amaka dropped the shell and pulled her up with all her strength. "Don't die, Mama," she cried. Mama Ifeoma smiled weakly. They rested under a rock as the rain fell hard. Amaka saw the cowrie glowing again. "Mama, why does it shine?" she asked. Mama Ifeoma said, "It means the river spirit is near. Tomorrow is the 7th day. We must find the stone of life before sunset or it will be too late." The 7th day came. Amaka's heart beat fast. They followed the river path until they saw a wide waterfall. Behind the waterfall was a hidden cave. "That is the spirit gate," Mama Ifeoma said. They walked into the cave. It was cold and dark. The shell was now hot in Amaka's hand. Inside the cave, a giant snake spirit blocked their way. "Go back or stay here forever," it hissed. Amaka remembered Dibia Okafor's charm. She raised the eagle feather. The snake screamed and turned into dust. "Let's go, Mama," she shouted. They ran deeper into the cave until they reached a glowing rock. The stone of life was shining bright. "Place it gently," Mama Ifeoma said. Amaka knelt down and placed the cowrie shell on the stone. The ground shook. The cave filled with blue light. The river spirit appeared again, but she was no longer angry. "You have returned it with courage," she said calmly. The river spirit touched Amaka's forehead. "The curse is broken," she said. "You have proved yourself brave and pure. I bless you with long life." Amaka smiled with tears. The shell turned into a flower and floated in the air. Mama Ifeoma hugged her tight. "Thank you, my child," she whispered. The light in the cave faded and the air became warm. Birds sang and the trees danced in the wind. Amaka and Mama Ifeoma walked out of the cave. The forest path opened wide. No more shadows, no more fear. Amaka looked up at the sky and said, "Thank you, God." They returned to Umueze village. Everyone was happy to see them. Dibia Okafor smiled and said, "You have done what even adults feared." Amaka became a hero in the village. From that day, she helped others with courage and kindness. After Amaka came back from the forest, many people in the village came to hear her story. She stood in front of the elders and told them everything. "I was very scared, but I knew I had to be brave," she said. The people clapped and called her Amaka the Brave. Mama Ifeoma was proud of her granddaughter. "Even though she is small, her heart is strong," she said to the villagers. Dibia Okafor gave Amaka a new charm with a lion tooth. "This is for protection," he said. "You have walked into the land of spirits and come out stronger." Later that week, a little boy named Chidi found a strange shiny object near the river. He was about to touch it when Amaka stopped him. "Don't touch it," she said. "Not everything that shines is safe. Some things belong to the spirits." Chidi listened and walked away from the river. Amaka started helping Dibia Okafor learn about special charms and spirit rules. She asked many questions and took notes with a small chalk and slate. "Why do spirits get angry?" she asked. Dibia smiled. "Because humans forget to respect them," he said. Amaka nodded and promised to always remember. The village women came to Mama Ifeoma and said, "Please let Amaka teach our children how to be brave." So every evening, Amaka sat under the big Iroko tree with other children. She told them stories, taught them how to pray, and warned them never to take what is not theirs. One night, Amaka saw the river spirit again in her dream. But this time the spirit was smiling. "Thank you for returning what was mine," she said. "You now have a gift. You can hear the whispers of the water." Amaka woke up and ran to tell Mama Ifeoma about the dream. After that dream, whenever Amaka stood by stream, she could hear gentle songs in the water.
The River Whisperer. The village made a small seat for her near the stream. Children came to her for advice. Old people gave her kola nuts. She always said, "Respect nature, respect spirits, and never take what is not yours." Never take what does not belong to you, even if it looks beautiful. Always respect nature and the spirit world. Be brave in times of fear, and listen to the wisdom of elders. Sometimes, the hardest road brings the greatest reward. Courage and kindness will always protect you. Years later, Amaka grew up to be a strong and wise woman. She never forgot the 7 days that changed her life. She still visited the spirit river to pray and leave gifts. And when people asked how she survived, she always said, "I had courage, and my grandmother never left my side."
Thank you so much for listening to today's enchanting story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales that spark your imagination. Every story is a door to a new adventure, and I'm so glad you walked through it with me today. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep dreaming big. Until next time, keep the magic alive in your heart. I'll see you again soon for another wonderful story. Bye for now.